Hey besties, back at it again with another Play-Doh slime. This one I also got at Target, and it was really sparkly and pretty, and I just had to get it. Like, look how sparkly it is. This one is like one of the Play-Doh foam. At first it was very not very stretchy, kind of hard to play with, but once you got warmed up, it was literally amazing. It was so fun to play with because it doesn't look like it would be stretchy at all right now, but then after a few minutes it got really stretchy. But I've gotten one of these before, and the next day it was all dried out. It would not, my other one was all dried out. It was as hard as a brick and would not move at all. So I just thought that I didn't show the container. But now this is 2 days after this, and yesterday I opened up the container because I wanted to play with it again, and it was completely rock hard. And I made for sure that I know that I shut the container really tight because I didn't want that to happen again, and it was rock hard. So these only last for a day, which is really sad. So I don't know. Bye.
If me and my sister ever put our elbows on the dinner table, my mom would take a fork and stab us in the arm. On Thanksgiving, I put my elbow on the table and she stabbed me with the fork, and she told me I wasn't allowed to have Thanksgiving dinner that night and I had to go to my room. Well, payback's a bitch. My mom got food poisoning from the turkey because she accidentally baked it with the plastic in it. But guess who didn't get food poisoning because they didn't eat the turkey? That's what you get, bitch!
So I used to know this girl who would constantly say things like, "Guys, sorry, I'm so ugly. I just ruined the whole group photo, I'm sorry." And then everyone would automatically comfort her and be like, "No, you're beautiful. You shine." And then she would be like, "No, but thank you." And she would do the same thing over and over again, trying to get everyone's attention. So eventually I got tired. So the next time she came to me saying, "I'm so ugly," I was like, "You know what? You are." She was like, "What'd you say?" And I was like, "Bitch, if you think you're ugly, I can crop you out of the photo. The fuck do you..."
I'm 24 years old and I recently married my childhood sweetheart. We had a pretty small wedding due to the global situation, but it was planned well in advance so we didn't cancel, just kept it to family. And we planned to have a party with everyone else at a later date. For some background on my husband, his parents had him pretty young. They were both 18 and 19, and he has a very close family. Our wedding reception was quite intimate, but we had the traditional speeches planned. Father of the bride, best man, which was my husband's brother, and the groom. It was only the day before that my mother-in-law asked if she could have the mic to say a few words when we sat down to eat. And we said this would be great. Big mistake. Stupid us. We figured she would talk about us at our wedding, so we never asked what she planned to say. She announced to all of our guests that she's expecting a baby. She's still pretty young and very healthy, but it was a huge shock that just completely took over the night. What's even worse for me is that I'm also pregnant and we planned to announce it at the wedding, but I told my husband to just leave it out of his speech. Everything felt a bit sour for me after that. After the wedding, I didn't speak to my mother-in-law for a few days, and I got a call from her sister to ask what's up. I explained that I felt like the attention was taken away from us without our permission. I would have said no if I knew she was going to announce her pregnancy, and it was unfair to spring that on us. Apparently, I ruined my own wedding because it was obvious to all the guests I was upset about the good news and I was being totally selfish. Maybe I was, but it was my wedding day that was already ruined by a pandemic. My husband is on my side though. He clearly feels a bit uncomfortable telling his mom that, which I get. I don't want to have this argument directly with the pregnant woman either. The rest of the family is split down the middle, my side and his, because it was such a close family event anyway. We'd all need some happiness. Now I'm starting to wonder if I overreacted and spoiled everything. The petty side of me wants me to announce my pregnancy at her baby shower. I know it would be wrong, but I want her to get a taste of her own medicine of what she did to me on my wedding day. So, am I the asshole for trying to ruin her special day because she ruined mine?
I was engaged to the love of my life, but my sister met up with me and begged me to break it off. She said I had to leave him because they were in love, and he was just too afraid to break up with me because he didn't want to hurt me or my family. When I confronted my fiancé about my stepsister's accusations, he straight up denied him. He said she's been trying to come on to him for some time and he never mentioned it because he didn't want to ruin our relationship. He begged me not to believe her, and so we continue how we were. My stepsister grew resentful and made nasty comments about how I was forcing a man who didn't even love me to marry me because I had low self-esteem. A month later, I get a text from my sister. It's a video of her and my fiancé sleeping.
Story time about how I got arrested for stalking my celebrity crush. Disclaimer, this is not my story time. It was sent to me on Instagram. When I was 15, I saw my celebrity crush for the first time in a movie. After that, I pretty much went to all of his movie premieres and events. I was able to take a picture with him and even got his signature. To say that I was obsessed was an understatement. Now, here's where the problem began. He started dating this woman, aka another celebrity, and I pretty much lost it after that. At the time, I was living with my mother and she couldn't help but notice the change in me. I started staying out pretty late, mostly because I was out in the city looking for him. I knew all of his hangout spots because the paparazzi always caught him there. So I basically would hang out everywhere he would. I followed him to his house, I followed him to the gym, and I followed him to the grocery store, pretty much everywhere. I decided to sign up to his gym, and I started talking to him, and he started talking to me, and he asked me out on a date. Part 2 is up.
Hey besties, so y'all seem to really like my boy best friend stories, and don't worry, I have a lot more where those came from, so I'm going to share some more today. Just a little backstory. I had this very toxic boy best friend for like 4 years straight, and I've been using like a codename Ryan, but I kind of feel like exposing him, not gonna lie. So his name's Marco. Let's hope he doesn't see this. Anyways, in 5th grade, we were both in advanced math. So we were learning 6th grade math, right? So I sat at a different table than him, like across the classroom, and I walked up to go like get a pencil, or I don't even know what I was walking up to get, and I happened to walk right by his table, and I heard him talking about how, oh my god, Joy has a crush on me because she knows how to spell my last name. Like, what? How? Then I butt into this conversation, like, how would it mean that I have a crush on you because I know how to spell your freaking last name? We're best friends. So everyone at his table was all like, oh my god, Joy, you like Marco. And I'm like, so Marco's last name has 9 letters, so everyone was like, I don't even know how to pronounce it. I don't even know how to spell it. I'm like, well, I know how to spell it, but that doesn't mean I have a crush on Marco. Like, does that make any sense to anyone? Or am I just like missing something? Like, is it really a shocker that I know how to spell my best friend's first and last name? Like, but now that I think of it, he was probably saying that because he had a crush on me. I should have brought that up. Why didn't I think of that comeback? Ugh.
So when I was 12, I was dating a 16-year-old, and we dated for like 2 years. So when I was 14, he was 18, just to put it in perspective. I always avoid telling this story just because I'm really scared to, because of the people that are involved, because they really discredit my experience. It was really scary dating him. This is really deep, I'm sorry. He would do things like make me stay on the conversation so that it always said read. I wasn't really allowed to post pictures, and if I did, he would get so mad. I wasn't allowed to wear certain clothes, and when he started to drive, he would show up at my school bus just to see if I was wearing leggings or a belly shirt. And I really wanted to pierce my belly button at that age, but he stopped me from doing that for so long, until on Valentine's Day I finally did, and he was going to take me out to eat. But when he found out about my belly ring, we sat in his room, and he grabbed it and told me that if I didn't take it out, that he wasn't going to take me out to eat. I had to pretend that my phone got taken away all the time so I wouldn't have to talk to him. And eventually, I started talking to another boy, and he found out and set me up. Let me know if you guys want to hear that story.
One day in elementary school, it was lunchtime. A bitch had to go potty. It was poo-poo time. So I remember I went to the restroom and I was exploding or whatever. And these girls walked in. We're gonna call them the Chipettes, okay? This is the best part. So the Chipettes start yelling in the bathroom. Is someone here? Can someone hear me? Like, I didn't say anything. I was literally taking a shit. Like, what? These girls, deadass, start laughing. They turn off the lights in the bathroom. They turn on all the sinks, whatever. And they start saying like Bloody Mary or some shit. And then the Chipettes run out of the bathroom and shut the door. So here I am getting casted on. I remember seeing a shadow. I fell on my ass. And I start screaming and crying. It wasn't good. So someone called the janitor. Janitor walks in to check up on me. It's a guy.
My neighbors are snitches. So yesterday I was really bored, so I just decided that I would drive around my neighborhood. So I got in my car, I was warming it up, whatever, and I see my neighbor staring at me through their window. So I'm like, is this dude really about to say something? So I just ignore him. I'm like, do whatever you want to do, I don't care. And I pull out of my driveway and I drive off. 2 seconds later, I see my neighbor's car following me. So I'm like, you know what? Maybe they're just leaving the neighborhood. Maybe they're going to the store or something. Maybe they're not even following me. So I take a left, they take a left. I take another left, they take another left. To the point where I make a whole circle and they keep following me.
This is a story of the time that I caught my neighbor's mom talking smack about me. So I don't know about you guys, but every single Wednesday in my middle school, we would have a bagel sale. And some people's parents would come in to help out. And my neighbor's mom was one of those parents. And I had a best friend at the time whose mom would also work at the bagel sales.
But this best friend of mine, her mom never let us hang out with each other because she felt that I was a bad influence on her. When in reality, it was the complete opposite. She was the one that snuck the boys in her house, if you guys remember that story time, where they peed in a flower pot. So basically her mom wouldn't let us hang out. And sometimes my friend would go with her mom in the morning, basically as a ride to school, and to help out with the bagels too. And one day when she went in with her mom, my neighbor's mom also was there too. So my friend starts eavesdropping into their conversation, and my friend's mom brings me up and says how much of a bad kid I am and a bad influence. And my neighbor's mom was like, "Oh wow, that's my neighbor. Like, we always suspected something bad about her. Our whole entire neighborhood knows this about her." Basically making stuff up about me. So then I go home crying, tell my mom,